Jim Carrey and Mel Gibson have had enough. They have seen what Oprah and Ellen have gotten away with all their life, and now it seems they are joining forces to expose both of them.
You have to be part of it to fall away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an inside job.
Ah.
No.
So what, do you think there's a motive behind these things?
I don't think well, probably.
What do you think it is?
I don't know, but it isn't good.
In America, in the United Kingdom, across the globe. And we need to be clear, shamelessness is not and will never be a superpower. It is the mark of a villain. Kidnapping children is not what great nations do.
Both of them have been speaking out against the evils of Hollywood for a very long time. They have spoken out about how everyone in the industry lives and dies for money, but there are some that are willing to go much, much further chasing hedonistic desires than others. According to Mel Gibson and Jim Carrey, Oprah and Ellen are two of those names. Let's start with Oprah Winfrey. You may remember that in 2023, Maui was devastated by horrifying wildfires, which burned through a lot of the local residents' homes. Oprah and Dwayne. The Rock Johnson even put together a fundraising effort for the afflicted, but what the media didn't talk about at the time was that Oprah's estate on the island was left completely unaffected, as the properties around hers burned. Isn't that suspicious? It led many to speculate that Oprah could have caused these fires on purpose to buy cheap land from the people of Maui.
How is that possible? That these people could lose their home and then lose their land?
The governor is looking at taking that land, taking ownership of that land.
Bro, what's going on in Maui right now is so sad. Well, the state is trying to take the land. The governor came out right after the tragedy saying we're looking to see if we can acquire the land and build a memorial. Take it for the state and make a memorial? How about give the people their homes back?
Even more shockingly, there were rumors and reports of children going missing during the chaos of these fires, and one name kept coming up in connection to them again and again: Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah shuts down trafficking arrest rumors. The media mogul takes to Twitter to respond to awful rumors stating she had been arrested. After finding out her name was trending on social media, she decided to address the rumors. Oprah tweets, "Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true. Haven't been raided or arrested. Just sanitizing and self-distancing with the rest of the world. Stay safe, everybody."
I don't think people understand how much property Oprah actually owns on the island of Maui. Almost 1,000 acres that she owns. This much property on someone else's sacred land.
We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui. This is what you do. The People's Fund of Maui.
You're jumping on social media and asking the American public, most of whom can't afford to pay their rent right now, to do it for you.
Oprah showed up to a Maui shelter with CBS camera crew.
It's a little overwhelming, you know?
Oprah Winfrey is known for exploiting celebrities on television, but in her personal time, she likes to take advantage of local people and use their land against them. During the recent Maui fires, Oprah received tons of backlash for her lack of support, and now some people question whether she planned these fires all along. So let's get into it. The people of Hawaii do not like Oprah. She has taken so much from them, and with the recent Maui fires, she's only made it worse. Before we get into recent news, I want to remind you guys that back in 2019, we had the same problems. Oprah owns a large part of this island, and she actually has a private road. And when there were fires back in 2019, the citizens needed to use her road to get to safety. Yet she wasn't that open about letting anyone touch her land, even though it wasn't ever her land in the first place. But people were all over Twitter begging her to let the locals use her road.
That's right, Oprah has her own secret island. You know who else had their own secret island? Jeffrey Epstein.
In case you guys still haven't heard, over 2,000 children are still missing in Maui. Of the original 3,000 students enrolled in the classes, only 538 have re-enrolled. And as of yesterday, crews have officially stopped searching for victims of the fires. Where did all these children go? And where are all the parents? Do you really think over 4,000 parents are just sitting at home quiet, not worrying about their children? I would imagine we'd be seeing this all over social media, all over the news, with parents hysterical crying, wondering where their kids are. But no, we're seeing none of that. I'm sure you guys have seen this picture before. These are the school buses that everyone's been talking about. There are 16 full-size school buses that each fit around 70 kids, and then 6 small ones that fit around 30 kids. This is before the Maui fires. And this is after the fires. Where did these buses go? Nobody can seem to answer that question. Were they used to take these kids somewhere that we don't know about? What do you guys think is going on in Maui?
Now that on its own seems like pretty circumstantial evidence, right? But what if I told you Oprah once opened a school for children in a very impoverished part of South Africa more than a decade ago? And just a few years into the school's operations, allegations of abuse involving the children began to surface? Oprah Winfrey soon responded. She claimed to return to South Africa with a team of private detectives to investigate the allegations and speak directly with the girls. "It has shaken me to my core," Oprah said, but not everyone was falling for it.
Something strange is going on with Oprah Winfrey's South African School for Girls.
Go look and see what happened to them girls.
So Oprah opened the school all the way back in 2007. And since the school's opening, it has been marred with many different controversies. You see, shortly after the school opened, a matron of the school was charged with touching several of the girls in a very inappropriate manner. When the crime eventually came to light, Oprah herself went to fire the school's head mistress. Then, in another incident that happened in 2011, law enforcement investigated the body of a newborn that was found in one of the students' bags. Apparently, one of the girls at the school gave birth, but there were no charges filed against her after this incident. There were also other scandals the school was involved in, like in 2009 when 7 students were suspended for harassing their classmates. And now there's a new scandal that the school is known for, as many people online have started spreading rumors that girls are disappearing from the school. According to these rumors, several students from the school have gone missing. But as of right now, nobody is sure why these rumors have started, as there is currently no news reporting that there have been missing girls at Oprah's school. Regardless, these rumors have managed to go viral all over TikTok and Twitter, and they continue to be spread to this day.
But to believe that you can take them as property and them and sell them, and it's something from the dark ages, it is just so horrific.
It was called Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. And it had girls there from grades 8 to 12. But look how weird this is. Number of students, 322. But the faculty members, 666.
Oprah seems to have built herself quite an image. But once you start peeling back the layers, you will be shocked by what you find. Such as her support for Donald Trump, a strongly alleged associate of Jeffrey Epstein.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life.
If you pick me, you're going to pick a winner.
We let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade.
I want free trade, but I want it to be like, at least we break even, right? We do something.
All of these allegations surrounding Oprah, in addition to her associations with some of the worst people on the planet, really made even her fans revisit the sort of person she was. Every deep dive revealed the same thing. Oprah would seemingly do anything for money and influence.
Part 6, final part. One of Oprah's most recent controversies has to do with the devastating fires that destroyed Maui last August. Oprah, who owns over 2,000 acres in Maui, teamed up with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who spent some of his childhood growing up in Oahu, and created a fundraiser to help the people of Maui who had been devastated by these wildfires. Oprah's sprawling acres were completely untouched by these devastating fires, nor was the massive long-term rental estate that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was renting in Maui touched either. Together, they pledged $5 million each to get this fundraiser started, and then sent a beacon across social media asking more people to donate to this fund. While I'm sure Oprah and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson looked at this situation as them being generous and doing a good deed, but it was not received well by the public. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has a net worth of almost $900 million, while Oprah Winfrey has a net worth of over $3 billion. It was in extremely poor taste for these two individuals, who are some of the most privileged people on the planet, ask for the everyday average American to donate to this fund when 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and these people have multiple homes, multiple cars, and an exorbitant amount of cash. It's also not lost on me that indigenous people from Hawaii have asked tourists to stop coming to Hawaii for quite some time now, and billionaires and millionaires are quickly buying up sacred and native land, and it's just becoming really out of control. And it makes me sad that we refuse to listen to the people of Hawaii and still just continue to disrespect and unnecessarily harm a precious ecosystem and economy. So with all of this being said, I think it's very interesting to look at the full picture of Oprah's life and see how she has gone from living a deeply impoverished and unstable childhood to becoming a multi-billionaire who seems to have a deep love for money. I unfortunately think that the Oprah Winfrey Show was a tool in helping to distort so many people's minds when it came to medical misinformation, scientific misinformation, et cetera, et cetera. I think Oprah misused her massive platform on multiple occasions simply for the love of money, not because of genuine love or wanting to help her viewers and her audience. Like, what does having someone on saying that it's unsafe to get a mammogram, like, who does that help? Shows like the Oprah Winfrey Show and Dr. Phil. For shows like theirs to run, exploitation of guests must occur.
Now, while Oprah is bad enough, Ellen may be even worse. For the longest time, people were told to stop asking questions about Jeffrey Epstein and the powerful people connected to him. Many claims were dismissed as internet rumors or conspiracy theories. But after court documents, flight logs, and other records became public, interest in Epstein's network grew even stronger, and people began re-examining old stories and celebrity connections with fresh attention, particularly when it came to Ellen. According to investigators who reviewed Epstein's records, the people around him communicated in strange ways. Emails were filled with odd phrases and coded-sounding language that didn't make much sense on the surface. Words like pizza, pasta, and especially jerky kept appearing over and over again. Not in normal conversations about food, but in ways that felt disturbing when read in context.
There was also a lot of language that appears to be coded regarding food. I wanted to let you know the crew really appreciated the pizza. Another email read, "This is better than a Chinese cookie, see attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again." This one talks about, yeah, that's the pizza. You mean radiating a soft glow with a look of bliss and excitement. There's one more, I think, in this list as well. "Sorry, I have no stomach for even the slightest aggro. I don't have the stomach for it for any drama, imaginary or real. I'm still fragile off the last one and scared of shadows." This is in response to some videos that were shared where Jeffrey Epstein himself says, "I watched all of these videos, don't send any more." And then Ghislaine is like, "I can't stomach any of this." What the did you send that Jeffrey Epstein was like, "No more"?
Well, and remember that they have some sort of OPSEC because previously it said not for email.
Even lawmakers who reviewed some of the unedited files admitted the language was alarming. One of them, Anna Paulina Luna, openly said the emails contained coded phrases and disturbing descriptions involving She pointed specifically to the repeated use of the word jerky, saying it clearly did not sound like ordinary food references when viewed alongside the other messages.
Is the reference to pizza. We talked about it earlier. I'll give you another example here. Epstein sends a message to someone. She looks pregnant, reacting to a photo. And the client replies back to Epstein, "You mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza." I cannot be clearer than this, that this is a code word. It makes no sense in that context whatsoever. And this, on top of the example I gave you earlier, when his virologist gave him the medicine for having an erection, erectile dysfunction, I assume, or it could be even Viagra, and then told him to wash his hands, go have pizza and grape soda. That's been mentioned time and time again. You know, having adult men, successful men that are very health oriented, constantly talk about pizza and pizza with grape soda, which I've never heard before.
Yeah, I've never heard of pizza and grape soda before this. I don't know if that specific combination was part of the whole Pizzagate thing, but it's definitely mentioned a lot because I saw that phrase, so I looked it up and was like, is this actually like in there multiple times? And it most definitely is.
There's another one here. Have you seen the beef jerky mentions as well? There's an email here from Jeffrey Epstein. Someone else says, Francis has time to come tomorrow to show me how to make it. Jerky, anyone? He will also bring you a taste of his jerky recipe from the restaurant and sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called Cook's. Wait for it, beef jerky and steak. Yes, time at 3 p.m. And there's other emails of him talking about beef jerky. Another one here is Jeffrey Epstein sending it to Steve Hansen saying, hope you're feeling better. Did we analyze the beef? Did we analyze the jerky? Now there's talks about jerky, referencing meat. It could be for scientific research, could be something else that's even sicker. But there's more emails here talking about beef jerky. Have you had time to go through those? There's one here. Thank you so much. Super cool. IT guy setting up Surface right now. We are ridiculously excited, and beef jerky delicious. Thank you. Thanksgiving. So yeah.
It is very. Now I've got all those emails saved. I'd actually had somebody send to me all of those to say, hey, would you check this out? So I have them. I have not read through all of them, but there's no shortage of terms that are phrased in a peculiar way. Muffin is another one. I've seen that a couple of times. I talked about when he says whoops. That seems to be in very sometimes he says that in very odd terms that seem like they're referring to somebody dying or getting killed.
Later, a forensic expert reportedly claimed the language looked like euphemisms for something far darker.
What would you say are the biggest revelations you've found so far?
So I thought that it could be interesting to go through some of the names that are mentioned, some of the people that are talked about, and some what I would consider some fairly legitimate accusations. I thought we could look at some of those people. We would look at some of the journals by one of the victims. I thought that could be interesting as well. They're pretty painful to read because it's actually pretty heavy stuff, but it does give us an insight into what it was like for some of the people that were tracked by Epstein. And she also makes some pretty outrageous claims. We'll talk about whether or not these are fully credible. I've also got some information on that potential escape plan. I've translated it pretty well, but I've had a lot of feedback since I released a video on it. Some people that think that there are a couple of words that maybe that I hadn't translated. They think it means something different. We can get into that. So there's some pretty interesting stuff there. So a little bit of everything today, but mainly just the most interesting things I've found thus far, sifting through. I don't even know how many I've looked at this point. It has to be well over 100,000. So
absolutely, man. Let's do this. You're going to be able to share your screen.
So what I'm going to start with is this is a journal by a 16-year-old girl who was an alleged victim of Jeffrey Epstein's. Now, she names a lot of names in this journal. I mean a lot. There's actually 2 journals. And I'm going to go through a couple that she names early on, but this is actually the cover to one of the journals because she had letters from when she turned 16. So she was very legitimately quite young when all of this was going on. But as I said, she names a lot of names, and there was an attorney that included a letter. Actually, I'll scroll down to that briefly. I know we're going to be jumping around a little bit so you can at least see what that's in reference to. So her attorney basically had said that words like yucky and gross and bad and mean are code words for basically assault.
Email after email mentioned jerky being stored in freezers, packed into insulated bags, rushed between locations, and shared among Epstein's closest associates. On the surface, the conversation sounded casual, friendly even, but the details raised major red flags for investigators and people following the case online. Now, many believe some major celebrity names could be tied to the entire situation, and one of the biggest names constantly brought up is Ellen DeGeneres. The biggest bombshell was the fact that her name allegedly appeared much closer to Epstein's world than most viewers ever realized. Rumors even spread online calling her Hollywood's most prolific, with countless internet users claiming she had ties to Epstein and the elite circles surrounding him. Some claim she helped introduce people, kept connections smooth behind the scenes, and stayed close to powerful figures while everything remained hidden from the public.
Now, in 2014, Ellen DeGeneres orders 99 pizzas in the middle of the Oscars. Ellen shared that she ordered pizza for all the guests at the Oscars. She also stated that Harvey Weinstein offered to chip in. It cost me $200. She didn't give it back. She put it in her pocket. I'm serious. She didn't give any of that money back. Oh God, this is such a bad to have paired with Harvey Weinstein, especially because his name is all over the files. In particular, that story with Jay-Z where someone claimed that they had been harmed by Harvey and Jay-Z was there. So messy, but let's go ahead and take a look at this clip that's going viral.
Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? How's everybody doing? Good? Oh, hi, happy? Carrey. Is anybody hungry? I just feel like everybody's got to be hungry right now. Good. I was hoping you'd say that because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so if
even Ellen, like even her face looks odd here, right? Like there's something so demonic even about like the silence in this room, how they're all paying so well attention to her. I would be on my phone. I would not be able to pay attention to this.
I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? Mark?
Oh my gosh, if you guys saw my video about Selena Gomez and the cloning and the Jennifer Aniston pizza parties, shoot, why did she say Jennifer Aniston's name first? So weird.
All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do. So I borrowed Pharrell's hat, and I thought I'd pass it around and get some money for the pizza, because nobody ever really... What do you have, Harvey? 200? 200. Let's start. Let's start. Let's see. What do you have, John? Would you have 20? Kevin?
20. That's for you.
You and Kevin Spacey over here giving some money up. He's broke nowadays because of all the allegations he's had against him.
That is when people started revisiting old warnings from celebrities who once hinted that something darker existed inside the entertainment industry. One of the biggest examples people point to is Justin Bieber. Years ago, Bieber openly spoke about feeling scared, uncomfortable, and unprotected as a young star in Hollywood. At the time, many people brushed it off as stress from fame. But now, some viewers believe he was quietly trying to warn people long before anyone was ready to listen.
Yeah, I think maybe maybe the lean when he was drinking that. Can I say that?
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape for me. I was just young, like everybody in the industry and people in the world who experiment and do, just normal growing up things. But my experience was in front of cameras, and I had a different level of exposure and people, and I had a lot of money and a lot of things. So then you have all these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live, drinking, smoking.
I think when you take somebody very, very young and they start to get horrible, crazy, crippling anxiety and it goes undiagnosed and you don't know what it is that you're feeling, you start to self-medicate because it makes you feel better. Just help you not to feel anything.
With all the success that we've had, we've also had some really turbulent times. When he turned 18, it started bubbling a little bit. 19 to 21? That was probably that dark period.
We didn't speak a lot during some of the times where he was running amok. There were a few times where I saw him and it just kind of hurt my heart seeing him the way he was, So I think I just kind of put a little distance with that for my own sake. It would just go without saying that my position on maybe the path he was going down, but at the same time, just letting him live his life and learn and, I don't know, just do his thing.
One especially disturbing piece of the story traces back to 2009, when a young model named Gabriela Jimenez was filmed outside a hotel in an emotional breakdown. In the footage, she screamed that she had witnessed something horrifying involving wealthy and powerful guests inside. Another clip that keeps resurfacing involves Chrissy Teigen, a longtime friend of Ellen DeGeneres. During an old interview, Chrissy made shocking comments about being willing to eat human flesh if the other person okayed it.
Actually, nothing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Is that terrible?
So, throughout all of these interactions, one thing becomes increasingly clear to us. Oprah and Ellen have done more than they let on, and there are very few people willing to stand up to them. Two of those people are Jim Carrey and Mel Gibson. And the sooner they tell us more about what's happening, the sooner we may be able to bring these alleged criminals to justice. Do you think Oprah and Ellen are hiding more things from us? Let us know in the comments below.